back, everybody, to Warlord of SBAS, Torment, Numenera, episode 63. Last time we went into this little hellscape in this gate, killed a bunch of flesh things, and then talked to her, the lady from the Dundro hair that did all those murders. Now we're talking to Infer. We just convinced him to open up this Numenera, or whatever it was called, so we can see his past. So let's continue into his past. In every direction, all is gray. A dreary sky above the calm, sea in which you float. The air is wet and lukewarm like the water below. The only sound is the wind reshores. So faint as to rise in no waves. Weightless, and alone, you are not deprived of sensation, but relieved of them. For a moment, you're basking in something like rapture or purely physical bliss that belongs to this body, not to you. Then it's gone, replaced by the rush of terror and rage. In violation, go away, your mind screams at you. Without will, your will against your will. Your body convulses. You are no longer floating effortlessly. You are thrashing, desperately not trying to drown. Tell your mind, stop fighting. Success. For a moment you have control of your body. In your mind, you sink your claws deep, and no thrashing will shake you loose entirely. But thrash your body does, and so does your mind, as a wild shrieking echoes around you. Out, out, you can't take this from me. You won't. It's Infer, only seized by a wild terror it never showed in the flesh. Your body, his body, the flesh that now houses you both, twists spastically in the water. Infer doesn't seem to be trying to drown, but caught up in a struggle against you. And panicking by your presence, he doesn't seem to be able to swim or float either. Why is his mind still here? This never happened before. You slip underwater and discover you're not alone. Dozens of corpses bob around you, some just a few feet from the surface, some of the darker depths. Among them is Chua Kasal. It is no longer quiet. What had seemed the whisper of a breeze was in fact the drowning of the dead. Now with water amplification, you can hear them distinctly. Filth, worthless slut, traitor, nobody, monster. Some jeer. Shame, shame, moan another. Fraud, one cries out. Clear as truth. Child just weeps. Infer consciousness seems overwhelming, but the tumult, your body stops flying in is merely sinking, but his innervation affects you as well. Your limbs feel light and lifeless. Force yourself to swim towards Chua. Every stroke is a struggle. Your body is already weaker than the one to which you have become accustomed, and it bulks at your commands like a spent anine. Infer is not working against you, but his will sits between your thoughts and the body's actions. Consciousness may weigh nothing, but his is dragging you down all the same. Hopeless, you gulp for air and swallow only piss warm water. Fight harder but lose even more ground. The weak light of the world above you is already fading. As you sink deeper into the dismal sea, you can make out the shadow of something below the corpses, something huge and ancient, awful. All teeth and hunger, which needs no words to convey how small you mean you mean and meaningless you are. Loathing wells up, not from below, but from within. Your flesh and mind resonate with the overpowering will, and your body trembles. A single massive eye opens, and a glance inside your entire self. You realize for the first time that you are naked. You see your spindly limbs and Solo's pockmarked skin. Your unisex, withered, worthless body, and you are ashamed. And when everything is gone and there is nothing but the liminal darkness between dream and reality, life and death, madness and reason. I don't know. Infer? At first there's no reply, but you know he is there still, toward us all. And in time he answers, "Who are you? You're not like the others. You're still awake. Scheming, grasping, you feel different, like him. How are you here? I've never tasted you." He paused briefly in his demands, and you feel his consciousness brush against yours. "Who are you?" For all his frantic questioning, your brother is not yet the madman you met behind the gate. His mind may be cracked, but is not shattered. I want to help you the way blah 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 tried. Blah blah Infer sounds incredulous. Do you know what came of his help? He lay gibbering on the floor, spitting obscenities till he bit off his tongue. They touched him, the dark ones. He pauses. You can't help me. No one can. You can only hurt us both. He pulls away and falls silent. Are you still there? You sense his seething consciousness lurking somewhere in his mind, but he gives no response. Wake up. You try to will yourself awake, but the Infer clings to the darkness. It solace in solitude and force your flesh back into a slumber. So this is how it will be a test of wills. For all his resistance, Infer consciousness soon retreats into the darkness of your mind, whimpering, giving away. It seems that he has little stomach for battle. Do I fight him? Or wait. Force yourself awake. You're in a hard bed beneath the corpse sheet. Voices again surround you. There are words the same as the corpse curse. Slide, one shot, chants in the swamp mantra. Another shame, shame. Punctured by a slap of raw hide. But these aren't the voices from the dream, only echoes. Your eyes open and you see as never before. Nothing's added or subtracted, but as certain details take as new clarity. The mold blossoming from cracked plaster, the blemishes on the weary, brutal face of the woman at your bedside, the sores weeping on the tenant's arms. You're not just in Infer's body, you're in his misery. The master has spoken, the master has awoken. The woman cries. Continue. She faces the others. Let us give thanks. They kneel, and she turns back to you, as dealing with the pleasure of power. Master, thank you for redeeming us in suffering, by revealing how, by seeing the world's cruelty, we may escape the world's bondage. Her humility is cheap and hollow, but the others are deaf to the hypocrisy. They murmur their thanks. Merkesia, like this. And for sighs her name, and you're stabbed with his feelings for her, contempt and craving allowed into something harder and sharper than love. So this is the one who served as Mona's god. Something else nags at you, but before you can grasp it, Emperor realizes you're still in his mind and howls out. Try to focus on the next station, I guess. Try to shut out the room around you. The litanies chanted in the cultists, the sharp sounds of pain being inflicted and recede. As the outside world fades and inner one rises up, the same accusation from the dreams resound inside you. Not spoken, but understood, a drone of humiliation and loathing and disgust that drowns out all the thoughts and feelings. Still, there is something more. Not the dead, not Emperor, not you, something like a little chime ringing inside your eye. The ward cries Emperor, he's here. My father is here. Emperor leaps from the bed, fully in control of your sheer body. The sheer force of his exuberance sends your thoughts reeling. As adrenaline floods his flesh, you turn giddy, but it only seems to sharpen his thoughts. Now, children, we are to be tested. His voice is greased with unpracticed insecurity, but the others cry out in joy. Now comes one who would steal the keys of the gate and twist the rising path of suffering into a downward spiral. You cross the room in a long, quick strides, but we are not unready. Let us meet him in the gallery. Rough honed stairs lead to an enormous room, more cavern than hall, ends with a wooden gates. The chiming of the wards is louder and faster. The chattering of the dead is incensed, but more than anything, you feel the Emperor's will, and the bloody purpose to which it is put. All these years he has expected your father's return. His mind repeats over and over, not hopeless, not again. Not hopeless, not again. You know that he knows that under the floor there are Numenera, the hidden in cracks and crevices and ciphers. You see that he sees. Faithful girding himself for battle. This is not homecoming, it is an ambush. Why is he here? He won't throw away till he works so hard to make for answers. I know he'd come. His thoughts harden, his voice grates. But I won't be used. Emperor nods at Marcasi, who hands him a barbed spear, graven with strange geometric glyphs. He dips the point in his flesh and wets it with blood. Your blood, his blood. Soon you'll see the tools can cut the builder's hand. Emperor whispered, more to himself than to you. Wow. Swoopy. Suddenly the gates shatter inward. Before the splintered wood, the twisted iron even hits the floor. The children will have fallen to their knees, sobbing, clutching at their ears, hopeless. It is not your father who has come. Following the breach drop, rather than smoking that is the sorrow. One moment it makes no move, though it gives no hint as to why. It's not him, Emperor whispers, and though he still stands, he is paralyzed as his followers. Marcasa acts first, pushing herself to her feet and shrieking commands. Receive the horror, embrace it, stand guard. Master, obey the master. The others rise uncertainly while the sorrow abides and further remains stupefied. Infer, listen to me. This thing is called the sorrow. It will kill you, you all, if you don't act. For a moment, Infer gives no reply. Then his voice choked and shrill with terror. He says simply, "Run, hide. We must escape. We." A form of progress in the face of annihilation. Continue. The sorrow remains unmoving with the breach in the gateway. It makes no gesture, issues no demand. It is waiting for something, or looking for something, or pondering. There's no way to judge what passes within its mind, if it even has more than mere instinct. You feel the tides washing around you, stirred up by the sorrow's arrival. There is Infer's body in his mind. You have no means to return them to your advantage. I don't think the spear throwing would do anything. Studying would be okay, I guess. The tactile for need to spring the traps. I don't think that really do much. Force or just spring the traps, same thing. Thinking hard. For you need to spring the trap. Your thoughts make their way to the dark corner of your mind there, where Infer has hidden. You feel him stir, numb and mute. A piece of knowledge unfolds. How to trip the traps. Bringing the hall, it takes more than a whisper. Rebirth. The room explodes with light and sound. Prismatic beams blast from melancholian thin nets spring from cornish projectiles pepper the sorrow. Henry feels encased. After the fires come with stillness and silence. The sorrow is unharmed. If anything, it is strong. Wings unfurl, arms stretch, field shattered nets, sunder and mirrored darts fall from its body. Worthless, a dead voice whispers, "Vain idiot." The smoke around the star turns and its alien gaze sweeps across the room, with the predator's contempt for kin, but without the predator's hunger. Its patience, like its resolve, is inexhaustible. It is almost indifferent. The children cower as gaze passes over them, and some cry out, "Master, save us!" But the Infer is gone, hidden somewhere in the recess of your mind. It is different to their terror as he was to their praise. I think the only thing we can do really is flee. So, run away! As you turn to flee, sorrow stirs from his stupor. Mercasa grabs you by the shoulder, her nails drawing blood. "Hurry," she hisses. She yanks your hand, and you find yourself following. She pulls her back to, it seems. As you retreat, Mercus cries out, "Stand, rise upon the pain." The sorrow that ensues behind you is strangely silent. Shuffling steps, half-hearted battle cries, smothered deaths. Mercasa hurries you through a warren of tunnels until you pass through another gate. This one made of wood and iron, but of solid azure steel. As you pass through the vault, seal shut behind you. The room from the faded Opolis of last civilization. The ornate reliefs carved from the granite walls have crumbled and eroded to abstract deformities. Ancient flickering lights line the ceiling. Their humming resonates with the metal floor, and their blush light illuminates the tarnish. In the center of the room, a silver throne rests on a dais. Unlike the floor, the throne shines as if recently polished. Tiny gleaming needles line armrest and hail like rings on hum from the back. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. That's hard on throat. Marcus is doubled over, gasping for breath. Wrenching your own body, weak as it may be, his untroubled infer's gone again. Yet something lingers, like spores from his mind, infecting yours. Well, I don't want to hurt him. Infer? He doesn't answer your call, but you can hear him whispering to himself, perhaps to the dead souls who haunt his mind. At the gate, he says over and over again. Actually, thoughts rise up from the torment of his terror, and you're starting to understand that he opens that endless gate. It's not a title search, not even some cast-off power. It's simply a matter of turning inward and embracing the horror inside him. He doesn't even open the gate himself. The creature beyond do. He only needs his suffering to shine like a beacon across the plains, and they worm their way into him. Now you know how to kindle the flame. Mikasa rises to her feet. A bit unsteadily, examines both you and herself as if searching for physical evidence of peril you escape. She finds none. Sorrow fell upon others who remain in the mercy beyond vault door. Master, tell me, how may I serve you that may endure in your cause? Hidden through infirm, maybe his contempt at this continued fraud burns at your gut like acid. Yeah, it's great. Enough of this raid, Murakasa. I know you don't believe in any of this. Murakasa frowns. Master, she begins before trailing off. She stares intently, perhaps reading the info as easily as he read her. Eventually, she shakes her head. You're wrong. There is something I've believed in all this time. It could help you find some good in all your suffering. Prove that it gave you hope to others, meaning to others. If I could lighten your burden, even a gram, then she shakes her head again. We've all suffered infer. There must be something good born from it, even if only a noble lie. Excuse me. Infer jaded sense can find no falsehood in her, and you feel him sink even further into despair. He realizes Marcus is not the hypocrite he believed. Can't escape it. Suffering with lies, You've been a good servant, Mikasa. She tossed her head and eyes on you suspiciously, as if you heard something. Actually, she said, as if you said something she's never heard. In the end, she gives no reply beyond a small nod of neither satisfaction nor agreement, simply an acknowledgement that there is nothing more to be said. There's no sound, almost masked by the humming at the ancient lights. It's coming from the vault door. It seems the sorrow has made its way through the children. Coward hisses a ghostly voice. Shame, but there's not the ones calling to him for now. It is the temptation of the gate, the promise that he will outlast another day. And for your mind's bleeding into the mind, can you use the give me chose remains before it's too late?
Making a note.
You know Infert hears you. You feel him pondering the weight of his thoughts, shifting beside your own. Excuse me. That's in a low hiss, he answers, "You're the fool if you want this burden, take it." When his mind stabs you into yours like a syringe, and the echo of Shiva has survived inside him, now inside you. He thought would throw us, but she remains. And it is as if Paul has settled over your consciousness. And first he's about to speak, but in the end he says nothing. In the recess of your mind, you hear a faint weeping. Whatever your grief, this will surely be a better home for her. Suddenly, a huge blister forms in the vault door, glowing white. A moment later, another blister rises, and the huge ancient bear begins to take on the look of a leper's face. That the door is yielding to the star is perhaps less surprising than that it's holding it all. Than that it is holding at all. Indeed, see that the barrier was gone, some life in it still. Despite its disfigurement, there is not yet any signs of structural failure. What is this place? Rakos gives you all a look as if you should know the answer, as if menaced to ask Taurus question while death itself roams the halls, but she replies the same. This is the Sanctum Sectorum, where the Sibyls shared their lucid dreams while princes and peasants and paupers. She sounded faintly. You wanted a place where you could be alone. I gave it to you. You remember, remembers. Infirm remembers. The days you came to this retreat, more fortress than temple, hacked from granite hills. Not alone, the children were trying you like chicks, but inside the promise of solitude. A false promise like all the ones life makes. For a moment the vault door still holds, though more blisters have risen and burst across the surface. It is only a matter of time before the star gains entry. Examine the throne. As you said, in a memory bubble up and burst into your consciousness. And first sits motionless on the throne. Mirko adjusted dials on his back. Children gather around the Soplin seeking an audience. Now Marcus atones. Be one with the master. And Fur has only an instant to ponder how he has consented to this abomination before Vastaining overtakes him. The children wail, writhe, soil themselves with vomit. One staggers to her feet and drags a dagger across the throat. Another gathers out of his eyes. They're hearing the voices, feeling the loathing that has festered inside the Fur. It is more than mortals can bear. It's sublime. His memory ends. His shame lingers. Now the door has become molten. Its alloyed ancient elements are separated. A lattice of a hairline cracks appear, and you hear low moaning as if a beast that has endured too much punishment. The dead voice cackle about vanity and fatality, and how all each other turns to skits, and the others give you their own message. The comfort of a familiar whip and the promise you get won't perish. How does the throne work? Worker shrugs. It's a mystery. When you sit upon it, we share the inecstasy of your suffering. When the Sibyls set upon it, they share their dreams. Only the Raph who assembled it for them could say how it works. He has long since turned to dust. Not only not enough to activate the amplified device. It is coming now. There is stillness in the air. The prickle of a star about to burst. The tides are being stirred. Mercus feels it too. She stops her pacing, stares at the vault door, at the widening hissing crack. Infer feels it and twitches free from the stupor. Terror has put its spurs into him, and those beyond the gate offer a lump of salt. The door bursts, the sorrow enters, the gate opens, flaming feel familiar beyond its pain, those who delight in pain. As the sorrow ponders this interruption, Infer runs toward the gate, closer. You smell the sulfur, but the sorrow has your scent now and moves like the wind, too fast. No, cries Mercasa, diving between you and the sorrow. She slows it for only an instant before it turns her into a red mist. It's not for Infer crosses over. Behind you, the sorrow floats excuse me, impatiently. It cannot or will not cross the threshold. It goes. Then the pain comes. A great wave that washes all else away. You're drowning in it, and at last your mind cannot bear no more. I'm gonna end it here. We're gonna continue on. See what how that affected Infer. I was hoping to like spare him or something, but I don't think that happened. So until next time, remember, embrace the chaos so you go mad. Bye.